So the company I chose for the Fortune 500 report is Philip Morris International. So Philip Morris International profile. So Philip Morris was a person. He opened a tobacco shop on Bond Street, London, 1847, at which he sold pre-made cigarettes and loose tobacco. Philip's son Leopold, in the late 19th century, established the Philip Morris Company, which formed the foundation that led to the success of the company for the future years. So now the tobacco competition industry. There are many producers in the tobacco industry, so the degree of competition is very big. So now you might ask, why is tobacco industry profitable? It is a profitable business because it's cheap to produce and people will buy it. It is also profitable because smoking is an addictive product, and once you're hooked on it, you're going to buy it. And also, the market is really dominated by a small number of companies. And the last reason is it's also profitable because the tax cost goes onto the customers. Now here's a picture of the leading tobacco companies worldwide based on the 2019 graph, and also based on net sales. In parentheses, it says billion US dollars. So you can see that Philip Morris International has a 30.2 net sales based on in billion US dollars, and the British American Tobacco actually took over in 2019. But below Philip Morris, and so there are other companies like Imperial Brands has a 20.5 net sale. Japan Tobacco has a 20 net sale. 20 Ultra Group had a 20.5. ITC has a 5.5. Gudang Garam has a 7.9, and KTNG has a 4.3. So Philip Morris International worldwide. So they operate in 180 countries. They produce 15 different brands such as Marlboro, Chesterfield, L&M, Parliament, Bond, Philip Morris, and etc. They have over 70,000 plus workers. And as of 2020, Philip Morris as a whole claims 14% of the global cigarette market. So how many cigarettes per day does Philip Morris makes? So when Philip Morris started in the USA, they made about 200 million cigarettes per day. Now, based on the 2020 Philip Morris scale, they make about 600 million cigarettes per day. So that's a 400 million increase, which is triple the amount from when they started. So, what are the financial statements according to Philip Morris International based on 2020? So, Philip Morris has a 7.15 billion revenue, a 1.83 billion net income, a 2.77 billion operating income, and a 3.75 billion cash on hand. Here's the global net revenue of Philip Morris International from 2010 to 2019. So pretty much the net revenue is the money you make minus the operating costs. So you can see that Philip Morris has been very steady from 2010 to 2019. 2019 they have a 77,921 net revenue in million US dollars. Show you right here. See that? Right there. Okay. So now, what are the issues with selling cigarettes? Well, the selling of the product is considered detrimental to a person's health. Another reason is public health concerns. Another reason is government restrictions on the tobacco industry, illegal marketing and advertising, death and product defect, and last one is financial issues, cost of treating illness, and financial losses from diminished labor productivity. So human rights issue with Philip Morris International. So it markets lethal products. Tobacco is the second preventable major cause of death in the world. More than 480,000 deaths annually, over 250,000 deaths among men, and over 200,000 deaths among women. And premature death that uses the products, life expectancy is at least 10 years shorter than for non-smokers. Misleading about the product danger. So this is really bad. So I want to show you a chart of different diseases from smoking. So you have all these different, you have lung cancer, heart disease, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, other diagnoses, other cancers, and stroke. So 137,989 people died from lung cancer, 158,750 people died from heart disease, 100,600 people died from chronic disease, 36,000 people died from other cancers, 31,681 people died from other diagnoses, and 15,300 people died from strokes. So, and that all that adds up to pretty much 480,000 U.S. deaths every year. So, what's in a cigarette? So, there are over like 4,000 chemicals in cigarettes. I'll list a couple of them. 1 is lead, 2 ammonia, 3 carbon monoxide, 4 arsenic, 5 radioactive elements, 6 nicotine, and 7 etc. So human rights issues continue. So many lawsuits was filed against Philip Morris International. Documents showed that Philip Morris and other tobacco industries knew about the dangers of the tobacco product and the addictiveness of nicotine. Yet, Philip Morris continued to hide the evidence that smoking is addictive. Another lawsuit, United States for Philip Morris. This was a court case. United States sued major tobacco companies, including Philip Morris, for violating RICO. What is RICO? RICO stands for Racketeer Influence Corrupt Organization Act. The lawsuit claimed that tobacco companies had violated RICO for many years by misleading Americans about the risk and dangers of smoking and secondhand smoke. So what is the future for Philip Morris International? So these are the future objectives and financial outlooks. Philip Morris International Company is developing a smoke-free product portfolio. The company will soon stop selling cigarettes. Philip Morris International is creating products without the use of tobacco. So some of these products are, so Philip Morris International future e-cigarettes. These are smoke-free future. E-cigarettes are called electronic cigarettes and are a smoke-free product that doesn't use tobacco. They're battery-powered devices, vaporizes liquid that contains nicotine, and the liquid it uses is called e-liquid. And another one of those products is called TEEPS. TEEPS is a carbon-heating tobacco product. It's a carbon heat source. It's carbon heat source that is separated from tobacco. So the person puffs on the TEEPS and inhales the nicotine flavor vapor. So this product prevents tobacco from heating. And another smoke-free product that Philip Morris International produces is IQQS, which in other words, THS. So THS is a product that heats the tobacco just enough to release the nicotine vapor without burning the tobacco. And a fact about tobacco is that tobacco in a cigarette burns at temperatures at 600 degrees Celsius, generating harmful chemicals. But THS heats tobacco to lower temperatures up to 300 degrees Celsius without burning tobacco. And this results in much smaller levels of harmful chemicals. And the last thing that the last product that they create is called steam. Steam is a product that generates a nicotine-containing vapor to produce nicotine salt. When a customer draws on the mouthpiece, a chemical reaction between nicotine and weak organic acid takes place and results in produced a nicotine salt. And obviously it doesn't use tobacco. So here's my ending statement. I think the tobacco industry is an extremely complex market, socially, ethically, and politically. Philip Morris International will be around for a long time. The nicotine that's inside the cigarette is so addictive that people can't stop smoking. That's why people have been smoking for years. And by offering healthier alternatives for cigarettes, like all the products that they created, and strategizing for the future, PMI is maintaining control of the tobacco market and obtaining competitive advantages over other tobacco industries. That's it.